Get to why. Embracing the 30-year-old dress code, no problem, boss man. Update. I want to express my gratitude to the entire Reddit community for your unwavering support and encouragement. I'm still getting used to the vast number of responses, and I apologize if I couldn't get to your comment. Many of you suggested creating a photo gallery of near-compliance outfits, which I would appreciate, especially if you could provide recommendations on where to host it. Subreddits only, please, no Instagram. I'll be taking a break from the online world for the next week, but I'll start working on it afterwards. To those who disagree with my approach, I want to assure you that I don't harbor any ill will towards you. I just think you're mistaken. Our shelter has been around for over 3 decades, and it's well known for preserving its outdated ways. The staff keeps notes in binders, enforces 80s-style punishments, and labels the electrical panels with cards printed on a typewriter. You get the gist. During a recent discussion with our floor supervisor, who has over 20 years of experience, I was told to adhere strictly to the dress code, even though jeans were technically allowed. This meant wearing button-up shirts TIFU. By ripping apart my Xbox One. As a frequent reader of this subreddit, I dreaded the day in which I'd have a story worthy of being posted here, but alas, here I am. This event took place 3 days ago. I am on winter break and have tons of free time, and with that time I age. My TIFU story. Tearing apart my Xbox One. As a regular reader of this subreddit, I never thought I'd have a story worthy of being shared here, but here I am. The events that unfolded occurred 3 days ago during my winter break. With an abundance of free time, I've been indulging in my Xbox One console, playing Madden 18 extensively. One day, I asked my brother to join me, but he stepped out to use the bathroom while I prepared the Xbox. I quickly loaded up the console and navigated to my Twitter feed while waiting for it to boot up. When the Xbox finally loaded, I selected Madden 18, but was greeted with an error message stating that I didn't own the game and needed to either insert the disc or purchase it. This was frustrating, as I knew my Xbox had been experiencing issues with its disk drive lately. I pressed the eject button, but it only made a reject sound effect, indicating that the disk was jammed. My brother returned, and we searched online for a solution, stumbling upon Microsoft's suggestion to use a paperclip to manually eject the disk. We followed the instructions, but it didn't work. We watched a video tutorial, which was slow-paced and un-TIFU. By accidentally driving the wrong car when I was in high school. My parents had a VW Golf and a station wagon. I had keys to both cars, although I normally drove the Golf because it was a GTI and a hoot to drive. Our local mall had the movie theater, arcade, and food court. That time I fell unknowingly into a sticky situation by mistakenly driving the wrong vehicle during my high school years. My family owned a VW Golf and a station wagon. I had access to both sets of keys, although the Golf was my primary mode of transportation due to its sporty nature. Our local shopping mall, which featured a movie theater, arcade, and food court, had a particular entrance where I usually parked. One Saturday, I decided to visit the mall, so I got in the station wagon and headed out. After spending time playing games, socializing with friends, and exploring the area, I drove home. When I arrived, my parents were out, and I thought it was a great opportunity to relax and watch some TV. As I munched on a bag of chips, I became engrossed in a movie on HBO. About an hour into the film, I suddenly realized I hadn't driven the Golf to the mall. However, I had driven the Golf home, which left me perplexed. I recalled seeing the Golf in the mall parking lot, getting in it, and driving home without giving it much thought. I assumed my parents must have parked the Golf in the same area I had, and they were likely calling the police AITA for not helping my former stepmom and step-siblings after my dad's death. My dad died relatively recently and didn't have much left in terms of assets. He had remarried to Ruth, but I, now 32, was already an adult and don't really consider his wife my stepmom. After my father's passing, I'm facing a difficult decision that's left me questioning my actions. My dad recently passed away, leaving behind very little in terms of assets. He had remarried to a woman named Ruth, but our relationship was strained. Although she received his belongings, which weren't substantial, I inherited a life insurance policy worth $500,000. We've consulted with lawyers, and it's clear that she has no claim to this inheritance, as it was purchased and updated by my dad just before his passing. Our local laws treat life insurance separate from inheritance. Ruth, who is significantly younger than my dad and has 2 high school-aged children, is now asking me to provide financial assistance for living expenses as well as college funds for her kids. However, I feel that it wasn't my dad's responsibility to support her children, and I've never been close to them. With my own life changing, my wife and I are eager to use the inheritance to pay off our remaining student loans, make a down payment on a house, and build a savings cushion. Ruth accuses me of being selfish, but I believe that I'm following my dad's wishes by using the inheritance to secure my future. She points out that I don't have children AITA for not telling my ex-wife that we lived in a rental apartment. Hi, back in 2008 when I started university, I rented a 2-bedroom apartment with my ex-girlfriend at the time and my friend and amp, his girlfriend. We got a great deal for it, as the owner of the place lost high. Was I in the wrong for keeping my rental apartment a secret from my ex-wife? It all started when I was in university back in 2008. I had rented a 2-bedroom apartment with my then girlfriend and our friends. We had managed to get a great deal due to the owner, who was struggling after losing her job. After university, my friends moved out, and I was left to continue living in the apartment, which I had made arrangements to pay for directly to the owner. She trusted me to handle the bills and other responsibilities, and I was grateful for the affordability and convenience. Years went by, and I eventually met someone special. We got married in 2021, and I was happy to share my life with her. However, I never mentioned my living situation to her, as it simply never came up in conversation. Our marriage eventually cooled down, and we decided to get a divorce. As we were sorting out the details, my ex-wife came across the fact that our home was a rental apartment. She was upset, claiming that I had lied to her for years and hidden this important information. When I explained the situation to her, she was still upset and demanded that I pay for a real estate valuation document she had obtained without AITA for canceling dinner plans to celebrate with my daughter because my stepson was upset. My daughter, 13, and stepson, 11, have not gotten along since my daughter moved in. She had previously lived with her mother, but I got default custody after her mother turned one of he. Am I the asshole, AITA, for calling off plans to celebrate with my daughter due to her stepbrother's hurt feelings? My 13-year-old daughter and 11-year-old stepson have never gotten along since my daughter moved in with me. It all started when her mother abandoned her after one of her infamous 24-hour vanishing acts. The two attend the same middle school and were running for student council VP. My wife initially suggested that if either of them won, the family could celebrate. However, she later clarified that both children were welcome to join in the celebration. The election turned out to be a high-stakes competition for both kids, with the votes coming in on election day. My daughter ended up winning by a narrow margin of 4 votes. Unfortunately, due to a last-minute drop in a student council candidate, my stepson was offered a consolation prize, the position of treasurer. He felt belittled by the offer and became angry.